Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing a game in my Tier 8 German Premium Light Tank, the M41 90 Grand Final, also known as the Black Dog. Now, I have bittersweet feelings about this vehicle. I sometimes struggle in it, and then sometimes I do really well in it. It does not compete to its little brother, the RU-251, which is another Tier 8 German light tank. The RU-251 has better camouflage because of its lower profile. It has, about the same gun depression. It has superior mobility and also superior rate of fire, making the RU-251 a much better vehicle for its tier, but you can't make as many credits like you can in the Black Dog. And so I've been trying to play this tank a lot recently, trying to get my RU-251 crew up high enough, and then also make another crew so I can convert it over to the tier 10 German light tank when it's going to be released here in the next couple of weeks. This vehicle, if you play it correctly, it can really pack a punch. You don't always have to play it like a light tank and just do scouting and assisting. You can actually get in there and wreak some havoc if you play it right. If you don't play it right, you're going to get punished pretty hard for it, because this vehicle is very fluffy. It's not super fast. It's kind of a giant tank. I mean, look at it compared to like the Centurion or this T-34-3. It's bigger than these vehicles, making it a huge target. HE can pen it all day long, and if you don't play it right, you're going to get massacred within seconds. That being said, let's take a look. Today we're playing a game on Sacred Valley, and the teams are relatively even. We have one good arty player as well as our STRV-103D, who, even if you have those good players on your team, it doesn't really mean much in the beginning of the game, because a lot of the time those vehicles are going to be sitting back, and so you might not want to consider that as part of your team when you do an evaluation like this. Now, they have a T95. That's a blue player. T95s generally are so slow that they can't really do much. You don't really have to worry about them because they usually sit on the cap. But last patch, Wargaming decided to increase its mobility, making the T95 almost kind of a brawler in some situations, especially in a smaller map like Sacred Valley. I have a suspicion that the T95 is going to push around this corner, and with little arty to deal with, that thing can really just be a beast. Now, if you look at our team, we really have no heavy tanks. The only heavy tank we have is this bright red M103, and the M103, as you know, is a quite a squishy little tank. That coupled with their M103, their low, their Tiger 2, I can see this being potentially bad for this northern flank. Now, as a light tank player, sometimes I do like to get initial spots as vehicles push across, but this time around, I think it's more important that I just go for damage instead of assist. Our team, there's not going to be a lot except for the arty that we have that's going to be able to give me that assist, and because this map is so small, there's not a lot of opportunity. Now, they do have this other good player over here in the T49, and I'm pretty positive that he's going to be pushing into this area here, trying to get initial shots and spots, and I'm going to go contest him. So the Black Dog, like I said before, is a relatively good tank. The main reason I play is to train crew and to get a lot of credits. And sometimes if you get into the monotonous, the preferential matchmaking tanks and or other tier 8 tanks, it kind of gets old playing tier 8 tanks and having to play them to get the most credits. I mean, obviously you can play lower tier premium tanks, but it's just not the same credit wise. So sure enough, the T49 was there. I'm able to put a nice snapshot, and this vehicle does do snapshots quite well, and the rate of fire is decent. The HEP rounds on this thing that have 320 alpha with 102 penetration, I believe, make this vehicle very, very fun to play too when you're going up against light tanks, artillery, and then tanks such as the Scorpion G. Anyway, like I was saying, light tanks add a variety to the game, and if you're one of those players that's just like, you need a lot of credits, but you're just completely sick of playing your tier 8 game, tanks. Well, the Black Dog is a tier 8 tank, but the gameplay is completely different. It has mobility, and it's got just a different feel to it, and you can get a lot of spotting damage, which can equal a lot of credits, again, if you do it right. So I'm going to let you hear what I'm actually thinking here. Right now, I'm not doing anything. Most of the vehicles, except for the T95, which is a slow tank, and the Centurion, haven't been lit. I have a suspicion that the Centurion is going to be pushing up this way, but it's kind of worrisome that I haven't seen him yet. I kind of want to push down, but this T-43 is there, and I'm thinking, okay, is it worth it? He gets killed, and I use my momentum to get down here. Now I switch over to my HEP rounds with the high explosive plastic rounds, because both these vehicles are very, very soft. I auto-aim, the Scorpion G decides to come kill me. I get underneath him because I feel like he won't be able to hit me there, and our team is able to take him out. I come around, this WT is completely oblivious to the fact that I'm here, put one into the back of his turret. He comes around, does not have the gun depression to engage me. Our team takes this diversion as an opportunity to push down the hill, because before I came down here and distracted them, they were looking up the hill and our guys were not able to move. Now, here's point one, light tanks are able to really distract. You don't always have to be a damage dealer, and you don't always have to be someone spotting. If you are able to distract and get them to turn their guns toward you without letting them hit you, you can actually get a lot of assist just by being up there, maybe tracking them, and just, again, you might not get a lot of assist, you know, in some situations, but again, being that distraction will give you your chance a higher chance of winning. Because guess what, if we hadn't have pushed right there and killed those guys, we'd be sitting on the hill, our entire north is completely gone, and we would have been completely surrounded at that point. Half our team would have had to turn back, and then it would have been almost impossible to dig out those tank destroyers. So what you see me doing here is, I have a feeling that they're going to push into our cap and start capturing, so I'm trying to get into a position where I can actually spot for artillery that is pushing up the hill. Again, he is a very good player, and I feel like if I can get into a position that's aggressive enough where I can spot into whatever is pushing across, I'll be able to, you know, hopefully help our team. And I completely failed here. I slowed down because I didn't want to risk flipping my tank right there, and so I slowed down just a hair, and it wasn't enough momentum to get me up. Then I decide to do something different. Our team have 2 guys on cap, and I'm only at 2,000 damage. I want more, and I realize that we're probably going to win this game, and so I decide to push in. I really don't want to face that T95, but anything else is fine. I should be able to take it on. I notice that T95 is pushing to our cap, and so I swing around and decide to engage this T49. Now what you see me doing here is loading another HEP round. I auto-aim and shoot. That's because, you know, I could have zoomed in and shot, but with that range, with this accuracy, the fact that the T49 was tracked, auto-aim was the way to go, in my opinion, because I don't know what other tanks could be potentially around me, and zooming in for that split second to get that shot could leave me blind to a T95, you know, coming up behind me and taking off 1,000 HP. So this FCM pushes in. He is able to reset our cap, which I'm thankful for, because I am kind of against capping, because I like to go for damage. The more damage, the merrier. We're here to kill tanks, not sit on a circle, right guys? Alright, and then auto-aim is also very helpful for when you're shooting through walls like this, because auto-aim doesn't care that there's walls, it'll just shoot right through it, and if you try to aim, there's a high chance that you could possibly miss. So, there you have it. I'm able to finish off Descent, and I end the game with 3,000 damage. Now, I didn't get any assist damage at all, but who really cares, right, when you're able to get 3,000 damage in a Tier 9 game. This tank is a lot of fun, but I wouldn't recommend buying this if it becomes available again unless you're super good with light tanks, because this thing will punish you time and time again, and it can be extremely frustrating to play. And I have, like I said, a love-hate relationship with this vehicle, and some days I love it and some days I hate it, and again, at the end of the day, I just am using it to make credits, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed this replay. I know it was kind of different, but you know, for my light tank videos anyway, because I've been showing a lot of spotting videos, and here I'm showing you one where I'm just doing raw damage. But this is to show you guys that you don't always have to rely on your team to get damage. If you see opportunities like I did with that Scorpion and that WT, take them. I mean, I saw that there was nothing left really except the scent that wasn't lit on the enemy team. The T-43 died, and there was really nothing to contest me, and for me to get back there and get that 1,500 damage, you know, I took no damage in return. Sometimes you have to take those risks, and light tanks are that class where you can, you know, it's very high risk, high reward, where you see an opening and you take it. And 9 times out of 10, you know, if you're a good player, you can really take advantage. You know, sometimes you're going to die, but that's just part of the risk that's involved, and that's what makes them so fun to play, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, if you did like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like down below. It really helps my channel out. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.